Wow!
It's amazing how they looked when they first began. Their looks not the same. We show you how they've changed.
By the mid-1960s, the spy craze was climbing to its peak. James Bond was well on his way to his fourth big-screen mission. Napoleon Solo teamed with Jack Rackin in television's The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Boys around the country were playing pretend Cold War with their Johnny 7 OMA toy guns. Groovy, light-hearted spins on the genre, the kind that inspired Austin Powers, such as Dean Martin's Matt Helm movies or James Coburn's In Like Flint, were just around the corner. Yet it was Get Smart that opened the doors to the spy parody. Mel Brooks and Bob Henry created their irreverent, uproarious sitcom in 1965. Get Smart would deliver infectious catchphrases and nifty gadgets. There were villains, cool cars, shoe phones, beauties, puns, and an android named Jaime. Don Adams and Barbara Feldon made a perfect pair as Maxwell Smart and Agent 99. In the years to come, there would be many knockoffs and remakes. The original Get Smart still stands as the best spy comedy. As always, you're watching how they changed, and here are things you might not know about the series. Marx drove a few different cars in the show. All spies must have great cars, of course, and Marx was no different. A red Sunbeam convertible was featured in the opening credits of the first couple seasons, but in the pilot he drove a Ferrari 250 GT-PF Spider Cabriolet. Then in Season 3 he drove a blue Karmann Ghia, and in Season 4 there was a Citroën and a Ford Mustang. In Season 5 Buick became the sponsor, which put him into a gold Opel GT. Nice wheels! Tom Poston almost got cast as Maxwell Smart. When Mel Brooks first brought the show idea to ABC, they wanted Tom Poston to star. ABC executives also wanted to make some changes to make it more family-friendly, as they felt some elements were un-American. Mel Brooks wasn't interested in taming things. The show was then taken to NBC, and Tom was left behind. He did, however, go on to be cast on Newhart down the road. Andy Warhol made pop art out of Barbara Feldon. Get Smart was so big that when a photo of Barbara Feldon, who played sultry Agent 99, was set to be on the cover of TV Guide, the one and only Andy Warhol created a pop art piece with her face. Many comedians made guest appearances on the show. With Mel Brooks at the helm, it wasn't hard to convince a few A-listers to appear on the show. A ton of comedians ended up making appearances on the series over the years, including Carol Burnett, Don Rickles, Steve Allen, Bob Hope, and Buddy Hackett, as well as Regis Philbin and Leonard Nimoy. Fang the dog got written off the show. The network requested that the dog be added to the show, so Brooks complied but decided to make him a shaggy dog with a permanent snarl. People loved him, but he ended up being expensive to direct, so they wrote him off. Control and chaos didn't mean anything. Many people assumed that control and chaos were acronyms for something sinister or spy-like, but they weren't. Control was the US government counterintelligence agency based in Washington, D.C., and chaos was its evil nemesis. Johnny Carson appeared in 2 episodes. Johnny Carson made 2 different guest appearances on the show, once as a train conductor in Aboard the Orient Express, and then again as a King's Herald in The King Lives. Did you catch those cameos? The show spoofed other creative works all the time. The show was frequently spoofing other works, which included everything from James Bond and Alfred Hitchcock. Think episodes such as Grey Window, Bronze Finger, To Kill a Mockingbird, and Die Spy. 9/9's name was never revealed. The show never reveals what 99's real name is. There are plenty of theories, but none of them have ever been confirmed. In one episode, she says her name is Susan Hilton, but then claims that it was an alias. The best we can go with is Mrs. Smart, after the two spies marry in season 4. 99 was the first working mom on a sitcom. When Agent 99 married Maxwell Smart and had a set of twins, she didn't quit her job to stay home with her babies. She continued to work and thus became the first woman on a hit American sitcom to work after marriage and motherhood, with a kick-ass job to boot. We can thank Get Smart for the smartphone. While that might be a stretch, but the many hidden phone gadgets appeared on the show certainly could have been a source of inspiration. In fact, there were over 50 objects that were used for intercommunicating throughout Get Smart's run, including a necktie, a comb, a gun, a fingernail, eyeglasses, and a watch. Sounds familiar? Of course, the most popular incarnation was the rotary shoe phone. At the time, telephones were still tethered to cords, so audiences could barely imagine the freedom of having a portable communication device like that.